Hello, welcome back to my makeup basics series part 3. This is all about the colors, and the colors are fun because these are the things that I will switch up more often depending on, the clothes that I'm wearing or the event that I'm going to, mostly depending on the clothes that I'm wearing or how I'm feeling. It's seasonal, whatever. So we've already covered part 1, which was skin prep. And we've already covered part 2, which was the base face, which is what I have on right now, the base products that I use every single time I do my makeup. And today we are going to jump into the colors. Now, when it comes to colors, there's like subcategories within this, and there's also a couple types of like techniques, the techniques that I kind of stick to more often versus if you're trying to be more trendy or trying a different technique, trying something new. So we're gonna keep it mostly simple today with like the go-to colors that I use on a regular basis, but I'll also kind of talk you through some alternatives or like where I would maybe use something more colorful or whatever. So let's get into the colors. The colors are going to consist of eyes, cheeks, and lips. Eyes, cheeks, and lips. And like I said, they're the products that you switch up depending on what you're wearing. I typically have like my base starter color. I pretty much use natural tan every single time I do my makeup, just as like a base to start with. I'm going to take natural tan on a fluffy brush, and I start with it up into this transition area, and then I also do kind of sweep a little bit onto my eyelids just to give a little bit of like a base to help kind of cancel out veins and redness and stuff like that, but it's not like super dark or intense. I also blend it underneath the lash line a little bit, and that just frames the eyes, gives me a nice little like framework to work within, and then it also helps to make your eyes look a little bit bigger. So this is always like the number one thing that I start with, and it's also like if I don't have a whole lot of time, I do this, I throw on some mascara, and I can be out the door. Like it's the most simple place to start with eye makeup. Think of this as like stackable. Like this is your number one, and then anything else on here can be done or not done. All right, next up in the basic technique of the colors is a darker shade in the outer corner. I'm using hot chocolate. There's tons of shades that you could use. Also, if you were like doing something colorful, doing a more colorful look, this is where I would maybe incorporate like a pink or a purple or a blue or something fun to like match your outfit. So this outer corner is a fun way to play with color. I typically like this to be darker than that natural tan. So you will 99.9% never see me putting something lighter in this outer corner area. That is like a rule of thumb to follow, is it's always darker than the natural tan that I put in the crease and lower lash line. That is a rule of thumb that I follow, is this outer corner color is always darker than the color that I put in that transition area. We're going with just simple, neutral, hot chocolate today, and I always use it on a smaller brush and just press it into this outer corner area, a little bit along the lash line. Some days I do this and some days I don't. And I feel fine both ways, honestly. This is not one of those steps that like I feel incomplete without. I also do a little on the lower lash line. And then I go back in with the brush that I used for the natural tan and just work that on the edge to blend the two together and have it be seamless. An outer corner always makes the look a little more glam and fancy. I really don't do it all that often, but I like it. All right, this next step is also extremely interchangeable, and that is the lid color. Now, my rule of thumb for this is typically lighter than the natural tan. That's just my favorite look on myself. I could go darker than the natural tan if I want it to be like a little more smoky or glam or something, but it's typically lighter than this transition color. It is always lighter than the outer corner color. I don't think there's ever an instance where my outer corner color is lighter than the lid color, ever. Even if I'm going a little darker and a little more glam on the lid, like I want a smokier look, I will always have that outer corner color be darker. Okay, there's a rule right there. And this is a fun way to play with color as well. Now, if I'm playing with color, I usually will pick one or the other as far as outer corner and lid goes. Like one will be color and one will be more like neutral. I don't typically do both color, but sometimes you can. That's the fun thing with makeup. Like there's no rules, and that's why part of the reason why I've been dreading doing this video is because I'm like, I don't want to say something that someone's like, well, I do it this way and is it wrong? It's not wrong. You're not wrong. Do whatever makes you feel most comfortable. My goal here is to just help you find a way that works if what you're doing is not currently working. My lid color today, I'm just gonna go with my like go-to shade that I grab so often, and that is Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. And I just take it on a flat brush, really any flat brush, sometimes a fluffy brush even. I don't know, whatever brush. And that it just goes. I press the majority of the product to that inner corner and then use my finger to kind of blend it over to the center of the lid so that it blends really nicely. And again, this is a place that you can play with like technique and pigment as well, because with one color, you can have this like softer look, or you can apply it more like heavily and get like a really intense like metallic-y shine. So lots of ways to play with color and product and technique. All right, so that's it for colors on the eyes. Now you're like, wait a second, your eyes aren't done. We're saving that for the next video. Let's go into the cheek color. There's a couple products that I like to use for that. More often than not, I've found myself using this liquid lip because it's cohesive. I know that it's gonna match my lip and my cheeks. So the cheek color is not as important to me as like the eyes are. Typically, I will make sure that my cheek color matches my eyes. If I'm using like some type of pink or purple on the eyes, I'll also usually use that color on the cheeks as well. So there's a lot of like interchangeable products that you can use that can help create a cohesive look. Now today's is just very, very neutral, so I'm just gonna use this. And this is the Hydramatte LipSense in the shade Chilled Pink. I put a little bit on the brush like this, and then press it on like that. Now, of course, I have like my go-to cheek colors that I use more often than others, but cheek color, like I said, very, very interchangeable. Now, I usually leave my lips till like the very, very end, but for the sake of this video, lip product is also considered a color because it's more interchangeable depending on your outfit, the mood, the season, all of that stuff. Today, I'm just gonna throw on a little bit of Chilled Pink. Rub that into, I already have lip volumizer on my lips, so I'm rubbing that into that for like just a really soft pink lip. There is the colors portion, part 3 of our Makeup Basics video. I hope you guys found this one helpful. I hope it wasn't too confusing. The whole point, I guess, is that there's so much room to play with, and this is the step, I guess, that creates the look. You've got your skin prep, you've got your base face, like those are pretty much gonna be the same every time you do it, but this portion, this is where the look comes to be. This is where like you match your outfits, you play with color, all the things like that. So hope you guys found it helpful. I do want to start doing more videos where I do different looks and I play with more color and I show more things like that. So if there's any color or any type of look you're specifically looking for, please let me know in the comments below so I can have some inspiration. I always love hearing from you guys, so thank you so much. Everything will be linked in the description bar below, and I will see you in my next video. Check back for part 4, which is the finishers. All right, I'll see you guys then.